Well, hello. As usual, I'm going to improvise. I just got up, had my coffee. Did you watch the World Cup final yesterday? That was an interesting game, and I'm not a huge football fan, but I do watch some games with my local friends from time to time. And so I played a little bit when I was in high school and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just glad that when I woke up this morning and checked comments and articles about the game, that a lot of experts and fans, aficionados, enthusiasts, were seeing the same game that I saw. So I won't comment on that. If you're interested in World Cup finals, you already know what happened and went down. The only thing I wanted to say was how ridiculous and absurd the halftime show was. But it's indicative of, it's a crystalline distillation of U.S. culture. The panacea, which is spectacle and sports and entertainment, somehow that can gloss over all the absurd madness of Uncle Sam Inc.'s perpetual shenanigans around the world from its founding until today. The whole thing, I mean, does anyone remember that thing? I believe the children are our future. I believe the children are our future. Remember that? And we all send a few bucks in to keep some people from starving to death in Africa. And then we pat ourselves on the back and just continue to do what we do, what we've been conditioned to do through our conditioned beliefs. And so things go on, and here we are today. Uh, you know, People don't notice it, or maybe they do and don't care, but it's like clicking like and following and doing all the social media stuff. You can say, okay, there, I virtue signaled. Now I can say I gave it the office and just go back to doing whatever I'm doing. Whether you're surviving in precarious conditions or making money in your sleep because you have a huge stock and bond and investment property financial portfolio that pays you when you're sleeping. For a lot of people in the United States, the current rules-based order works perfectly well for them, so they're not going to think anything's wrong. And we're going to watch this theme at the halftime show, like the halftime show is necessary in the States, of course. And it's somehow going to have this message, tear-jerking message with children singing and whatnot, and pop stars, world love, do the thing with the heart, and so on and so forth. It's so silly, ridiculous, absurd, tragic, untoward. I don't know what to say about it. It's just so wrong and distasteful. You're talking about global love. Well, it puts a new spin on love bombing. So what you have is Uncle Sam Inc. is this cult leader who knows how to manipulate the world. And part of that manipulation is love bombing. You know that technique, right? So, oh, we love you so much, therefore we have to support, killing children and bombing countries. What gives Uncle Sam Inc. the right to operate the Strait of Hormuz? I mean, we wouldn't let anyone close to our borders in the United States. Well, hundreds of millions of taxpayers and 1% of the population that makes money in their sleep. Plus having the might and the resources to have 800 bases or whatever it is around the world and continue this project of global hegemony. I think the ideology behind modern techno-industrial neoliberal financialized capitalism world is ridiculous and outmoded and wrong. But, we grew up with it. We're all conditioned by it, trained in it. So we're not going to change it. Why would we? As long as we can get up in the morning and borrow enough money to buy something or pay our rent or whatever we have to do. And somehow all of these spectacles are going to make us feel better until they don't anymore. There's no sense of urgency that there are things in the world that need to be dealt with properly, that we have problems that must be solved. There's just no sense of urgency. And part of that is because we have these spectacles. So one statistic is like, on the secondary market, a ticket to the final was $10,000. Well, most people had their tickets, from the primary ticket sellers. So they didn't have to pay that much money. The stadium's full, and people who wanted to buy tickets on the secondary market could. And I'm sure, I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure a lot of people did. Because that's part of the business model, is to create the false scarcity. Buy a bunch of tickets if you can. I don't know what the rules are, but you know what I'm talking about. I go and I buy 500 tickets. I'm not going to, somehow I get a hold of those and then I sell them on the secondary market. So that's 500 seats that need to be filled in an 80,000 person stadium that's filled to the brim. So I'm sure some people paid a pretty price to go there. And, that's their business. If they want to spend money on that, why not? But the halftime show was ridiculous and, to my view, distasteful and not entertaining at all. It didn't jerk a tear from my eye. And it kind of broke the whole momentum of the game itself, which was a bummer. 20 minutes of gobbledygook, shallow, silly, canned entertainment. And I don't really get pop music anymore because to my ear it all sounds the same and the lyrics are all the same. How many times does Justin Bieber have to sing Hallelujah? Is that supposed to do something to me emotionally or something? I don't know. Shakira, Korean pop music. Oh my God. And I used to live in Japan for a long time. And the music hasn't changed at all in 40 years. So I guess it's still commercially viable, right? That style of music. Oh man, I think we're in big, big trouble. The world's literally on fire, and this is the kind of thing we do at one of the biggest global sports spectacles that we have. So, what can I say, man? Celebrate FUBAR. You gave it the office. Till the next one. Imagine what it's going to be like in 4 years. Any better? Any worse? Okay, talk to you later. Bye.